Hello, this is TCG, and in this video I'll be showing you how to solve the Evilbox 1 CTF. Let's get started with a net discover and a net map. This shows us that there are two ports open in the machine. The first one is an SSH port, and the second one is a regular Apache port. If I go to the Apache website, there is nothing here, and even if I do view page source, there is nothing for us here. So what we'll do, we will run a dir buster and check for any files or any directories that we do not see here. In this case, I've turned on off recursive because otherwise it takes up too much time. I've stopped Dirbuster here because we won't get anything worthwhile anyway. So we've got two interesting one file and a directory. The first one is a robots.txt files, which can often tell us if there are any other directories. If I open this in browser, it just has a message for called which says hello hacker. Otherwise, even if I go for view page source, this is useless. The other one, on the other hand, secrets. If I open this one browser, this too will show nothing. So we'll run a dirbuster on this particular directory. And once again, I have turned off the recursive function. There is a script on the secret directory, evil.php, and if I open this on the browser, there is nothing here. Even if I look at the page source, there is absolutely nothing here, which leads me to believe that there is a possibility of an LFI vulnerability that can help us gain access to some of the files on the machine. In order to exploit the LFI vulnerability, we're going to use the FFUF tool in order to find the fuzz word that we can use in order to access the files on the system. Now we know that the keyword for the same is command. Let's see if this works. And turns out that we can access files using this particular vulnerability right here. Using the same vulnerability, if I try a command such as ls, it will not work. That means we can only access some files and directories. Going back to /etc/password, and go to view page source in order to view this in the proper format, we can see that there is a username Maori in here. This may be a username for the SSH. If we go back to the nmap that we had previously, we see that the SSH is using the RSA protocol. That means the passwords of this protocol, which uses SSH, will be stored in home/user/.ssh/id_RSA. Now, if I go to the browser and put on the very same directory, we get this key. Now, the first thing I'll do is I'll download this key and save it as a file. There we go. Now that we've downloaded the SSH key, we're gonna go change mode to 600 so that it is readable only by the owner. Now I'm gonna use the utility John the Ripper in order to brute force the password. The first thing that I'll do is I will need to convert the key in a format that John can understand. And now that that's done, I can use the John command. Now if I do John show, the password turns out to be unicorn. Now let's try to use the SSH. And we're in. The first thing that I'll do is I'll do an ls to check if there are any things that we have. And we already have the first key. Now I'll go back to the home directory, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this particular command. My bad. Yeah, I use this particular command, find dot this particular command in order to find all the files that we have the permission to write. And if I go all the way down here, right here, I see something curious. It says that I have the right access to /etc/passwords. This particular directory stores all the passwords of all users. So maybe we can exploit this. In order to do that, the first thing that we need to do is create a password hash. We do that using OpenSSL. And I'm going to set the password here as CTF. Why not? Now we have the hash along with the salt used for the same. Now I'm going to access the etc/password file using the nano command. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add one line. I'm going to add this particular line. Which allows us to create a new user called TCG with root password, with root permissions, and this particular password that is hashed. Now if I do sutcg and use the password CTF, I finally have root access to the machine. Lastly, go to the root folder and there is the final key. Thank you for watching.